Here, that's the way you do it. Thanos is going to snap his fingers and one of these things is going to be wiped out, right? Babies, no one's okay with that. Kids, no one's okay with that. Women, I'm certainly not okay with that. Old people, not a lot of people going to be complaining.
That's true.
Remember when we first met John McClane? Argyle picked him up from the plane and took him down to Nakatomi Tower at the Christmas party. And the terrorists were overzealous, but it was sweet when they killed Ellis. And with a little help from Alan, John McClane kicked ass.
Welcome back to Shat the Movies, the podcast where we answer the question, were the movies we loved when we were growing up really that good? Have you ever caught yourself thinking, why don't they make movies like they used to? Can you still remember spending your Friday night searching for the perfect movie rental at Blockbuster Video? Do you know what Blockbuster Video is? If you answered yes, then this is the podcast for you. I am one of your hosts, Gene Lyons, and alongside me is my co-host, Big D, Dick Ebert.
Good evening.
And each week we take a look back in time to decide if our favorite films still hold up. The movies we cover are chosen by you, the listeners, who generously commission the films you love. If you'd like to see all the movies we have covered, we'll cover one and choose one for yourself. Please visit shatpod.com and have a look. At the end of each podcast, we'll provide you, the audience, with a number of wipes each movie take to get off your respective butts. So thank you so much for listening. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and share with a friend. It's how we help the podcast grow. Additionally, subscribe to our sister podcast, Shat on TV. Review TV series such as Westworld, Taboo, American Gods, Game of Thrones, True Detective, Lovecraft Country, and Watchmen. Find all information on past episodes at shatpod.com/TV. And finally, if you would like to hang out with us live, follow and subscribe to our Twitch channel, shatpod.com/Twitch, and our YouTube channel, where we play video games, host watch parties, and edit this podcast live. All that being said, Big D, what movie are we reviewing today?
Gene, tonight is a movie that's long overdue. And this movie was so big that I forced a third podcast host to sit down with me and watch it. Emma agreed, so I have some feedback from her. It's a big movie. I can't believe the last thing I got her to actually sit down and watch with me was, besides Star Wars, might have been like Gremlins, or I don't even remember what it was. She sat down and she had some takes on this movie. So I'm very excited that Alex had written in and decided to support the podcast and commission the 1997 American science fiction action comedy, Men in Black.
Alex was kind enough to write in and say, hey, Shat crew, I've been listening to you guys for quite some time now. I've been commuting for work from Jacksonville, Florida to Gainesville, Florida for the last 6.5 years, which is roughly 1 hour each way. My husband is stationed out at NAS Jax, and I work for the University of Florida. Your podcast has turned the most annoying parts of my days into some of the most enjoyable. Between my husband deploying and not having much family nearby, this podcast has been a constant that I can always look forward to. So I thank you for that and all you do. By the way, totally not opposed to the idea of ads in the podcast. I like that that's coming from a commissioner. I decided to commission Men in Black for one, because I cannot believe it had not been done. I thought most of the themed rides at Universal Studios had been. I was born the year of Jurassic Park, 1993, also a fantastic movie and one of my favorite pods y'all did. I will admit, I don't recall seeing Men in Black until I was in high school. My husband, on the other hand, has parents that allowed him to see it the year it came out in 1997 when he was 5. He then spent his entire childhood thinking his parents were actually aliens, and when they weren't home, he would think they were off planning to abduct him in a giant UFO. I'm glad he eventually grew out of it. But really, Men in Black has just been so enjoyable for my husband and I to watch over the years. There are so many fantastic actors, and the movie itself has so many elements that continue to be a living theme. Tommy Lee Jones, aka Agent K, saying, a person is smart, people are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everyone knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everyone knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that humans were alone on this planet. Imagine what you will know tomorrow. Absolutely iconic line, especially since we're living in a time when some members of society are actually revisiting the whole Earth is flat thing. Or when Kay and his partner talk about how no one looks up at the stars anymore. In a world full of social media technology, do we ever? The opening scene where they are teasing Border Patrol officers about keeping everyone safe from the dangerous aliens, and then Kay actually grabs a dangerous alien in disguise. Some good work there, Slick. The dry humor and line delivered by Tommy Lee Jones and Rip Torn just constantly land and really made the movie for me. This movie, though, really shows its age, but not in a hokey type of way. The magic of Spielberg. plenty of time seeing the cityscape of New York City in the 90s with the World Trade Center and Twin Towers still standing tall. The clothing style that Will Smith is fashioning, which I will say 90s Will Smith is by far my favorite Will Smith, the 90s music score, while James is spending all night thinking about joining Men in Black, all very reminiscent of the time. Our favorite scene in this movie has to be during the interview process with Will Smith's character, James, and all the other men in uniform from different military branches. When they all start taking that test and you and the audience are forced into the uncomfortableness of the pencils breaking, booklets tearing, and finally James dragging that heavy ass and loud table across the quiet room, that was the best of the best, sir, with honors. One final thought on the movie itself. Vincent D'Onofrio, that played Edgar the Bug, was phenomenal acting and was not surprised at all to see that he won a couple of awards for Best Supporting Actor. A kind of story flaw we pointed out is that James doesn't say goodbye to anyone before his identity is erased, which I'm okay with, actually, because it keeps the momentum of this main story going without getting sidetracked. I think the point there is that there wasn't anyone in his life that he felt like he needed to say goodbye to. He just needed to make the decision for himself. Anyway, I could keep going, but this movie just continues to be so enjoyable. I would give this a half a wipe, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts. Thanks, Alex.
So, Alex, thank you very much for the commission. And Gene, you don't know, we may have saved a life. That drive from Jacksonville to Gainesville, that is an accident waiting to happen. I think it's I-10 to like the 301 South. That there is nothing. Like when you go west in Florida, it is mind-numbingly flat, straight, boring, billboard signs about Jesus and the apocalypse, and random strip clubs about every 15 miles.
Now, I drove across all of Texas, like end to end, when I was 33 years old. And that was pretty rough. Now, in my mid 40s, any drive, unless I'm like psyched for a road trip, any drive, like a commute of an hour or 2 hours that isn't on a motorcycle, I am dangerously close to falling asleep.
Yeah, but also at least I think that commute of an hour, you're driving at least. I would almost rather do that than an hour, say, from Long Island into Manhattan. Stop and go, you have to constantly be engaged. This, you just put on Shat the Movies, you listen to a movie, she gets out of the driveway, she gets to Gainesville, boom, she's done. That's why our hour time frame you set is perfect.
Alex, thank you. Alex, just in case you do get sick of the pod, though, another tip, you could just cut the roof and the windshield off your car and you cannot fall asleep, I promise you. So there's that. Men in Black is a 1997 science fiction action comedy directed by Barry Sonnenfeld that adapts the Marvel comic series The Men in Black by Lowell Cunningham. Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith respectively star as Agent K and Agent J, who investigate a series of seemingly unrelated criminal incidents related to the extraterrestrials who live in secret on Earth. Linda Fiorentino, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Rip Torn also appear in supporting roles. Also, Tony Shalhoub. The film's visual effects were helmed by Industrial Light and Magic, and its soundtrack contains the theme song of the same name performed by Will Smith, as well as a score composed by none other than Danny Elfman. Men in Black received critical acclaim for its screenplay, humor, action sequences, and the performances and chemistry between Jones and Smith, and it was a box office smash, grossing more than $589 million worldwide and becoming the third highest grossing film of 1997, as well as the ninth highest grossing film of the decade. Note there in 97, we had Titanic, so who's going to compete with that? It won for Best Makeup and was also nominated for Best Art Direction and Best Original Score at the 70th Academy Awards, among numerous other accolades. A sequel was released in 2002. A third film was released in 2012, and a standalone sequel was released in 2019 with Jones and Smith absent. Let's hit the trailer.
We work for a highly funded yet unofficial government agency.
We'll take it from here.
Who the hell are you?
INS Division 6.
There is no Division 6.
Our mission is to monitor extraterrestrial activity on Earth.
You're all here because you're the best of the best, and we're looking for one of you.
Hey! What's up?
I want to get some coffee. You want some coffee?
No, thank you, I'm fine.
Hey, fellas. You guys get along all right?
All right, I'm in.
From now on, you will have no identifying marks of any kind. You are no longer part of the system. We are the men in black.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
Series 4 deatomizer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Noisy cricket.
I feel like I'm gonna break this damn thing.
Oh, it gets better. Dad, we have a bug.
Unlimited technology from the whole universe, and we cruise around in a Ford POS.
Fasten your seatbelt.
See, now we got to work on your people skills.
Columbia Pictures and Amblin Entertainment present.
I knew it. This is an alien, and you guys are from some government agency trying to keep it under wraps.
Nah.
Tommy Lee Jones.
I'm gonna count to 3.
He'll do it, Jeeves.
1.
I'm telling you, that man does not look stable.
2.
He's always crazy. Why don't you get a massage or take a cruise?
3.
Do you have any idea how much that stings?
Will Smith.
What the hell are you?
Your world's gonna end.
In a new film from the director of The Addams Family and Get Shorty. Men in Black. Protecting the Earth from the scum of the universe.
You know how to use these things?
No idea whatsoever.
In 1961, Earth is designated as a neutral zone for alien refugees who live in secret among humans. Agents monitor alien activity and use memory-erasing neuralizer devices to maintain secrecy. In 1997, Agents K and D disrupt a Border Patrol operation to capture an alien named Mikey. When Mikey becomes violent, K kills him and neuralizes the patrol officers. D, feeling too old to continue, asks K to neuralize him so he can retire.
So, Jane, this is back in the time of the true summer blockbuster. Right away, the premise, it's simple. You get aliens. They aren't invading Earth, but they're already here. The government's quietly managing it. And Men in Black operates like it's an interstellar immigration service. They're processing in and out aliens from the galaxy. The concept is simple. It's enough science fiction, enough action, enough ridiculous comedy that you don't question it. It's not trying to be real. It's just trying to be some fun, try to get you out of the summer heat into the movie theater. And the premise explains the entire world in just a couple minutes. And I feel like these movies don't exist anymore. In the 80s and 90s, the summer blockbuster, it was something the entire family. You'd see a commercial, you'd look at each other and be like, hey, let's go. Let's get some popcorn. We'll go to the movies. Today, we're so segmented. Yes, you have all of the streaming services and streaming films. But it seems today there's less movies for everyone. Everything now is like a niche audience with a specific, either they're trying to teach a lesson or a specific angle, or it's nothing is like this anymore. I went back and looked at the list, and I'll discuss it with you in a second, but there aren't these family type blockbusters produced anymore.
That might be changing though, because with that Skydance like Paramount acquisition, right? And also with them pushing into like the HBO realm, Skydance is really big on these like summer blockbuster made for everybody kind of movies, also with the built-in audience, the Transformers type stuff, the Men in Black type stuff. So that might be changing. But I mean, I think that as theater going declines and people are watching more and more stuff on streaming, that like this is probably the way you save it, much to my chagrin. Like I love indie films, I love weird shit, but I think that's probably going to be the ongoing trend, and it's going to give him even more so that people are going to want to see everything in a movie, and it's got to appeal to everybody who's going. That's the only way you're going to get butts in seats.
And I think a big thing also was the anticipation. Was you would see a commercial, then you would hear people talking about it. There would be a poster that showed up in your local movie theater. Maybe you got like a Siskel and Ebert talking about it, or you would see a random small special on your local news about the summer movies. I can remember the summer of '84 where they'd highlighted the films. That doesn't exist anymore, because if you go back and you look at these films, in 1980 it started. I think Jaws, they say, is the official first one. But Star Wars, then you get Raiders of the Lost Ark, Superman, E.T., Star Trek, You get War Games, Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones, Gremlins, Back to the Future, Top Gun, Aliens, Beverly Hills Cop. None of these are too serious. And then for fun, I said, okay, let's go back to the 2000s. Let's see if I'm completely crazy here. This is what they considered blockbusters in the year 2000. Tenet and The New Mutants. Then we had A Quiet Place 2. Black Widow, F9, and Shang-Chi, The Legend of Ten Rings. I guess that would be a Marvel summer movie. But then we get Maverick, Top Gun, Jurassic World Dominion. Then the next year you have Fast X, Barbie, and Oppenheimer. The kids aren't beating down the door to get mom and dad to take them out to see Oppenheimer.
Hold up. You're blowing right over all the Star Wars stuff. That was all in there.
No, not in 2020s. Not in the last 6 years.
I think it was in the 2000s.
Yeah, no, I said 2020, starting in 2020.
Oh. Well,
I'm talking the last 6 years.
Halfway through the decade.
Yeah, the last 6 years. Then you got like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Mission Impossible. No, but no kids are wanting to. There's no family that's going to go out and be like, hey, let's go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
I mean, I think lots of families would go see that.
Not lots. Not like back in the day. No, I think we need more of these.
Maybe not pearl clutchers like you, but like a normal
pearl clutcher.
Family that's not trying to shield their kid.
No, I'm just about fun for the whole family, Gene.
I think Deadpool Wolverine's very fun. I mean, I haven't seen it. Sounds fun. I don't know. But you have to remember that the phenomenon of Men in Black, much like Area 51 and Majestic 12, like this was very much a conspiracy theory in 1997 that UFO dorks believed in. Like they thought this was a real thing. And I think that's just a testament also to how much looser we were as a people in 1997. You talk about movies you wouldn't take kids to. I would say conversely, in the 90s, we could take a dark or a serious sort of a topic and make it fun and be totally comfortable with that, right? You could take a conspiracy theory like Men in Black and make it a blockbuster comedy. And I don't think, again, you could do that. Like you took Pizzagate, right? Like, Pizzagate, the movie, or anything that QAnon's doing. It's not going to give us the same cinematic vibes of, Will Smith talking trash to an alien.
I don't know. You don't think there's going to be some funny family film about Fauci and the creation of all of the coronavirus? And about the vaccine.
Martin Short. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it'll be like zoinks. I can't believe the corona escaped from the laboratory. We got to go run it down. You don't think that's going to happen? No, but back then, honestly, it's because the wackadoos were isolated. If you were that crazy Men in Black conspiracy theorist, you were isolated in your basement, taping up clues to the wall with yarn stringing between them. Right. That's why we could universally laugh at them with films like this.
Yeah, but there was Coast to Coast on the radio, George Norrie.
Yeah, everybody had like their little ham radio, and they were like communicating, sharing. That we could all laugh at that. Everybody was a joke. But today, these conspiracy theorists, they take themselves so damn serious.
Alex mentioned the Border Patrol agents and just the way they were approached in this movie too. And maybe it's just my brown ass believing that immigrants are key to America's success, or my anti-fascist ass believing ICE can go fuck itself. But I loved seeing the 90s view of illegal immigration. First of all, the Border Patrol guys are wearing like uniforms from like the 50s. That's not what they wore in the 90s, but they look fun, right? And they're just there to politely enforce the law. They're not menacing. They're having a back and forth. They line everybody up. They're asking them questions. Meanwhile, the Men in Black understand that a few Mexicans crossing the border for work are not a danger in the grand scheme of things because they've seen some shit, right? Men in Black, they're cruising above that entire situation. And they're just like, yeah, the whole van load can go. These are not dangerous aliens. And so many 90s comedies made subtle political points like this rather than beating us over the head with them. You and I talk about all the time where it's like, I always bring up the Many Saints of Newark, right? I'm like, I want to watch the Sopranos movie. And they're like, did you know there were civil rights riots? I'm like, I did know that, but that's not the movie I sat down for. I like that movies could take a stance politically, but not make it the whole damn movie.
But I think today we're so easily upset. We're so thin-skinned and we're so sensitive, Gene, where we're like, oh, we're so woke. I think we're the opposite. I think today we are just so goddamn uptight. Like you said, I'm clutching my pearls. We recently did Harry and the Hendersons, and we talked about how back at this time, it was cool for the family to find a monster or to find a mystical beast or to find a robot or to find something and take it into your house, even if it was dangerous. You didn't call the police right away. You brought it in, you learned from it, you all grew, you saw Sasquatch, you saw Harry as a member of the family, right? Today, we just get so fucking sensitive. You go back to Quick Change, right? Another love letter to New York. Do you remember the cops? The cops defending the immigrant taxi driver, saying, hey, why did you just interrogate him? He said, I thought you wanted me to. He said, no, I said interview him. And this movie shows that. We just today are in a different mindset. If you're afraid of these aliens, this is Ellis Island of the world, of the galaxy. The aliens arrive here. They're registered. They're monitored. And what are they doing, Gene? Are they villains? Are they all here to kill and to suck the marrow out of the bones of your children? No. They have jobs. They quietly assimilate into the community. Nobody panics. And it's a metaphor for what we've always been. My grandparents came here from Sicily, and they dealt with bullshit, but they added to the country.
I mean, they even go as far as to say Earth is basically asylum for aliens. Like they seek asylum here when their worlds get disrupted, or in the case of this, when there's intergalactic warfare. Well, soon after, NYPD officer James Darrell Edwards III apprehends a suspect, unaware that the suspect is an alien. The alien warns of a coming threat before committing suicide. Kay, impressed by James's performance, recruits him into the Men in Black. After completing a series of tests, James becomes Agent J, and his previous identity is erased from public record.
So before we go any further, I want to share with the listeners a fact that we learned, Gene, that kind of shocked you. You thought I was wrong. It's J, not the letter J, and not K. It's Kay, Jay, and D isn't the letter D. It's Dee. These guys actually have names.
That's what you pay us the big bucks for, Alex. Just gave you. So they're not letters. They're spelled out.
And just think, Gene, if you were a company who was looking to promote your brand, this is the type of material that's going to get your audience and,
that's
and
right.
Send your sales through the roof. But you talked about the immigration officers' uniforms, and you said this isn't what they looked like. I know. And for me, that's one of the standout features of the film. The way this movie looks and the design of the world and the headquarters and the Art Deco, it's like a retro 60s future vibe. It's timeless. It looks like a throwback, but yet it could be futuristic. And I think these choices make it so that it does a lot of the heavy lifting. The audience is introduced. You see aliens, strange technology, somewhat familiar. It's easy to feel ridiculous, but the sleek architecture, the offices, the buildings, the desks, the computer. Today we look at what was like a Severance, right? Severance has a lot of the similar like design, or like the TVA in Loki, the Time Variance Authority. It's a timeless design. I think it looks so fucking beautiful and holds up so well.
Except for the outfits. For a movie that focuses on sunglasses, I mean, I think there's no debate here. The iconic look that we're supposed to have is the suits and the sunglasses. That's how you know they're the Men in Black. I feel like they could have done better than the Ray-Ban Predator 2. Those are some ugly sunglasses. Like, they're trashy sunglasses. And you mentioned that retro 60s, like mid-century modern / Art Deco look. And I think they missed the mark on costuming in general. Sunglasses, you got to go classic Wayfarers, like that's what a G-man would wear. And like just Wayfarers in a two-piece suit would be the way to go. The world is classic, I'll give you that. But the Men in Black themselves, their look is so 90s, like the cut of their suits, and they improve on that. Unfortunately, actually, the best looks in this series was for Men in Black International, which the 2019 one, which I have not seen, but the King Bee tells me is absolute garbage and bombed at the box office.
No, but we should be thankful we didn't get the J, like the Morpheus version at the end.
Like the one at the end, yeah.
Yeah, where
it's
he's wearing
bad.
like the tiny little sunglasses and he's wearing that. That was awful.
My nephew has those like really expensive sunglasses that like pro baseball players wear. The big honking ones are like $300. He looks like a dickhead everywhere he goes. I love the kid, but there's a very specific man who can wear those, and it's not him. It really bothers me.
No.
And we talked on our Star Wars episode about how A New Hope changed the industry by making the film a driver for merchandise sales, right? Like before that, they didn't do those tie-ins where they're like, oh, we're going to have all the toys come out too. So people watch the movie, kids will go buy the toy. And I think we discussed that that's why so many Star Wars characters and vehicles make for great toys. They were designed that way to make for a great toy. And I couldn't help but think during Men in Black, oh, that would make a cool toy. There's so many little gadgets and knickknacks that show up in the movie that look amazing. The noisy cricket, the neuralizer, the pulsar blasters they get in the end, those big rifle looking things, and all the different alien species that you get. It's so fun. It's so memorable. And they made it look, like you said, futuristic and fantastic, but somehow real. Like you felt like you could just reach out and get your hands on it.
Yeah, I think this ran into a problem that Star Wars did. They weren't quite sure if people were going to, like kids were going to really embrace it.
Yeah.
So they didn't produce a lot of the toys right away. But then by the end, they had the J and the K action figures. They had the alien creatures. They had like some play sets, almost like the Ghostbusters, where you could slime the agents. And then they had the headquarter play set. They even sold the noisy cricket, which is great. But what they did have for a tie-in, Gene, besides the cartoon that ran from 1997 to 2001, was that
catchy? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, how does this rank against Wild Wild West theme song?
This is much better.
Really?
Because Wild Wild West just bombed.
The movie or the song?
Yeah, the song and the movie Wild Wild West bombed.
Did it really not do well?
It did not do well, and that's the reason why Will Smith was not Neo. He chose Wild Wild West. I swear, this is where my knowledge comes in, people. He turned down The Matrix because Wild Wild West he thought would be a bigger hit.
This motherfucker comes up to me before the podcast. He's like, did you know that J is Jay and K is Kay? Doesn't mention that Wild Wild West, which came after Men in Black and also had a bomb-ass song, is the reason why Will Smith wasn't Neo.
Now I got to check it out.
Slightly more interesting. No, I don't doubt you. I'm just like,
why
is that not in the show?
Yes, I was correct. Will Smith famously turned down the leading role as Neo in The Matrix.
No!
Yes, because he thought the iconic role in Wild Wild West.
I would pay $100 to hear Will Smith say Nebuchadnezzar.
I have another reason. It must have been they let him do that fucking song.
The Matrix song?
No, the song in Wild Wild West. So he thought, hey, I could do the movie. They should have let him do a Matrix song.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a Will Smith Matrix song about being trapped
put
in
Marilyn
the Matrix?
Manson to shame.
Yeah. Fuck no. But as far as like his songs, I think he had a whole bunch of bangers. You got Miami, you got Summertime. He was so fucking likable and he was everywhere. And watching this, you forget today how likable Will Smith was. At this stage in his career, Jay is, and you don't think he was likable when he was Fresh Prince?
I didn't forget that he was likable.
Oh, I can't. I have forgotten.
Oh.
Because all I see now is the douchebag getting cucked by Jada and going up and slapping, poor Chris Rock. He is a shell of himself. He's an angry man. He just tried to release that new song, like Girls or whatever.
It's bad. It's
bad. They had CGI fans. It was like he's singing it and it's low energy. It's sad. You can see he's dying inside a little bit right in front of us. It's so sad.
As a kid who had the tape for He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, like his breakout album, and listened to it front to back over and over again, day after day, it is heartbreaking to see. Not that he was ever like the great, like he's not Notorious B.I.G. Like he's not the greatest MC of all time. But yeah, he had some fun, catchy music, and those days are gone.
And I think this is a restrained version. When you get towards some of the Bad Boys later, it's where he can't stop talking. He's constantly he won't shut the fuck up. Even some of like in ID4s where it starts maybe. Here he's reserved, he's quiet. He still maintains that young kid where he's like going against the establishment. And for me, this is probably my most enjoyable Will Smith, the charismatic, Fresh Prince. This is where you could relate to him. He was a young kid who made something of himself, and instead of becoming this Hollywood A-list celebrity with a weird fucking family and his kids and whip your hair and fucking, what's his son walking around with a $40,000 handbag by who's the one, God, who's
Givenchy?
No, who's the very
Louis
expensive
Vuitton?
handbag? No, Hermes.
Oh,
He was because I guess he's a Hermes ambassador. He's got a $40,000 dollhouse purse that he walks around with.
Yeah, but like $40,000 to them is like $40 to you.
But doesn't matter. Would you have a fucking like dollhouse purse?
I mean,
you'd have something
cute?
else. No, it's
I
not.
mean, I am pretty partial to a more somber Will Smith. Like, I really liked I Am Legend Will Smith. But as far as in comedies, yeah, he's really good in this. And I think he's the way he plays the character is confident, but not being an asshole. He's not overwhelmed by his world. He stays true to himself. He never changes who he is, but he still demonstrates to a degree that Kay is his mentor and his partner, right? That he's not like you said, later movies, he has to be the big attraction. He has to be the star of the show. He has to be outsized and everyone kind of revolves around him. I think here he definitely understood. He was doing an earnest job of trying to play the character and not be Will Smith. And I appreciated it. I do think it's some of his best work. Meanwhile, a hostile alien known as a bug crash lands in upstate New York. The bug kills a farmer named Edgar and uses his skin as a disguise. K and J, tipped off by a tabloid news article, question Edgar's wife. They learn that the bug has killed 2 aliens who were living on Earth in disguise. Their bodies, along with their pet cat, are sent to a morgue overseen by coroner Laurel Weaver. At the morgue, the alien tells Jay and Laurel that the galaxy is on Orion's belt before dying. After neuralizing Laurel, Kay identifies the alien as Rosenberg, a prince from the Archelian Empire.
So when I watch a movie with Emma, some of these movies from my childhood, I'm waiting for certain moments in the film. I'm waiting for the revelation that Darth Vader is Luke's father. I'm waiting for the realization that the Mogwai, when you get him wet, he'll multiply. You feed him after midnight, he turns into this scary creature that's trying to kill old ladies in the town. And in this, I'm waiting for the bug. I'm waiting to see how she's going to take it because Emma hates bugs. We live in Florida, we have the palmetto, we got the big roaches, right? It's now getting towards the summer and they're starting to come out again. She hates them. So when we get Vincent D'Onofrio in the Edgar bug suit and you see the UFO crash, she doesn't know what's going to happen. She just thinks, oh, this alien's going to come out and kill him. And then D'Onofrio gets into that human suit. You see the flesh suit just laying there and he puts it on. And the way he moves and the awkward gestures and the strange like head tilts and the way he's adjusting the skin on his mask, it seems like what you would imagine a giant insect would do trying to figure out how to act in a human suit. Every small gesture he doesn't walk correctly. He's got a weird gait. He's dragging his body and his neck. And you can imagine, and you said he won some awards for this. I don't think he won anything major. But this is as good a performance. If you're reading the words on the page, that you could turn that into this performance where you're blending physical comedy and something unnatural. And when Emma saw that, she was like, oh, that is so gross. She was afraid of what this bug in a human suit was going to do. And it has to be one of the most memorable villains in 1990s films.
I was laughing before I even saw him. Like, again, it just called back how much I enjoyed this character. As you hear him like yelling at his wife while Edgar is still human, and you see the space, you see the fireball come in and take out the truck, the only thing on this farm that's doing any work. I'm already laughing, anticipating how good this performance is. And you have to be an exceptionally imaginative actor to understand why Edgar is conceptually hilarious. Right? Because you just said Emma's take on it, right? And the average person, not saying that your daughter is average, but a person who has not been introduced to this character before, has not seen what Vincent D'Onofrio did with this character, you'd go, okay, this alien comes down, kills a dude, takes his skin, puts it on and moves around. How is that funny? And it's the way he plays the character, because the character is devastatingly ruthless. He will kill you he'll enjoy it, right? Killing you. And he is lethal. He can kill quickly, right? But he is rendered awkward. This perfect killing machine is rendered awkward by the need to put on a human suit and pass as human. It is a laughable job of trying to pass as human. You keep asking, why is he doing this? Like, why is he trying so hard to pass as human? And you watch people sort of catching on little by little. And of all the humans on Earth that he could be puppeteering, he ended up with a farmer in overalls driving around a pest control van. That is such a big job for an actor to pull off. And Vinny O, I mean, he just nails it.
But a strange thing is he also makes this character somewhat sympathetic. Even though he's killing, I was.
Really?
Yes, he's explaining, right? So he lands there. Yes, he has to kill the farmer, the real Vince, what's his name? Edgar. The real Edgar, he kills him because Edgar says, "You're going to take my truck over my dead body." And the bug says, "Okay, that sounds like a good trade." So he kills Edgar, right? He doesn't kill the wife.
No.
Okay, if you kill bugs in front of him, then he will kill the exterminator. Generally, he doesn't kill anyone who doesn't kill his species or doesn't cause a direct problem for him in accomplishing his mission. He's not that bad. I can understand his plight. He didn't kill the wife. She gave him sugar water. Sugar water. You didn't find something understandable about his plight? He just needs to get the galaxy and get out. He doesn't want to kill people, but he will.
But why does he want the galaxy?
He's a soldier, Gene. It's part of the
He's
Achilles.
an agent of chaos because it'll trigger mass warfare and death.
Listen to me. He's an instrument. He's a pawn. It's the Archelian government.
Oh,
It's not this port. We don't ever see him. Maybe he's just like some brainwashed kid who joined the Archelian whatever, like Space Force, just to get off his little backwards planet.
Well, we talked about Vincent D'Onofrio. We talked about Will Smith. They're not the only actors going above and beyond this movie. Alex pointed out Tommy Lee Jones's performance, and Tommy Lee Jones is responsible for so much of Agent K's presentation. He had such a specific connection to that character that he worked with Ed Solomon, who wrote Bill and Ted, to tighten up Agent K's lines. He insisted, listen, that's not what Agent K would do. He wouldn't talk this much. He'd communicate more through facial expressions and movement than with words. And that gave us this character that we really care about. I think he's beloved, honestly, to the audience that loves Men in Black. He's this stoic, efficient guy. And that's so much better than a verbose old man who's going to tell Agent J all about all the things that are going on and explain the world to him and just be a big exposition dump. And according to Solomon, he tells one story in an interview where there was a 3-paragraph speech, which doesn't sound like a lot, but on film, 3 paragraphs is a fucking long speech. And he created this speech for Tommy Lee Jones. And Jones sat there in front of him and just crossed out the entire speech completely and replaced it with one glance. He said, "I'm going to convey this through just this look." Solomon saw the look and he said, "You're right. This is better." And that's incredible work. K and J visit Frank the Pug, an alien informant, who explains that Rosenberg was protecting a powerful energy source. An Archelian warship soon arrives in Earth's orbit and demands that the Men in Black return the galaxy or they will destroy the Earth. Jay and the Bug both realize the galaxy is on the collar of Rosenberg's cat, Orion, which is now with Laurel. The Bug captures her and swallows the galaxy. Jay guesses the Bug will head to the New York State Pavilion, where the Men in Black hid flying saucers during the 1964 World's Fair. So Big D, students of the Men in Black already know this, but it was news to me on this rewatch. Did you know that Men in Black originally had an intergalactic war with Earth caught in the middle? That was the premise of the movie. They shot the whole thing and they ran test screenings. Audiences thought it was too much to keep track of. There's 2 different races. They're fighting. Earth is caught in the middle. The Men in Black are caught in the middle. And so what they did was very smart. They said, okay, we're going to get rid of one of the races and we're just going to make it about the Archelians and really limit their role too. And so they had that lunch meeting with Rosenberg where they're talking about the galaxy. That was filmed in English. They dubbed the audio over to make it sound like it was in an alien language. And then they put subtitles in to change what they were saying completely. They didn't have to reshoot any of that, which I think is fucking brilliant. They edit out the rival race.
So did Edgar come in and kill them? Or was that
Edgar still comes in and kills them.
Oh my God. You're making it way too complex.
Yeah. So basically Edgar knows that these two different races will have an intergalactic war and the bugs will just come and eat what's left. Like they want all the dead bodies in the chaos. They're like trying to fuck things up, right? By taking it. And I've read people arguing in forums that additional dimension of an intergalactic war, it raises the stakes and it makes things make more sense. I don't know. I mean, I think that, like, are you happy with the simplicity of Archelians will destroy Earth if they don't get the cat collar?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
It's obvious that it's much better because, first of all, personally, I'm upset now that now they make Edgar truly the villain in the film, that he's trying to encourage worlds to fight just so he can like eat the pieces. So he's not the innocent pawn of his world. No, but I think it's great that they actually listen to the audience. That's why they do these test screenings. The movie works because of the relationship with it's the old sage. It's K and J and their relationship and learning about what's going on. It's the world of New York. We've said how special it is in Quick Change, that you can be yourself. There's an individuality of having Bill Murray dressed as a clown in a subway car with a bunch of balloons and nobody looks at them. So when you see these aliens hidden amongst the New Yorkers, it works because of that. You know, and Emma, as she's watching it, she gets everything, Gene. And besides Edgar, that concerned her a bit, there's a part of the film that got her to almost where she had the pillow over her head. And I think any comedy or good comedy should make a portion of the audience slightly uncomfortable. And they're going around New York, and Jay grabs that little pug. The dog is barking, flipping around, and he is shaking the living shit out of that pug. Shaking the pug, and Emma's like, oh no, what's he doing to that dog? And the joke is obviously that the pug, which we think is just a dog, is the alien and starts to talk and the human isn't. Emma's reaction to them shaking the living shit out of that dog was only topped by her concern for Orion the cat. When Edgar shows up at the morgue and Orion's there, Emma was so concerned about the cats being killed and the pugs being shaken that she didn't care about the humans. She didn't care about the people getting their stuck in the neck with that giant interstellar roach stinger. And why is it, we talk about this, why is it, we love animals, right? Why is it more concerning to see, or like a video of an animal being abused online than it is about humans butchering each other or attacking each other? I know humans we should care more, but I don't think we can pretend that everybody loves their animals.
Adult humans, adults, like we care just as much about kids as we do animals.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to point that out. Like normally I would argue it's because dogs and cats are just pure creatures. Like they don't have nefarious thoughts. They live in the present. They're free from all the duplicitous lies that people do and the evil shit. I don't know cats all that well, but I assume that they're pretty honest creatures as well. But has Emma met a pug? Because they're kind of assholes.
No, she hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I like Frank the Pug. Sarah had a pug named Max. God rest his soul. They're adorable creatures, but they're kind of dicks. They're also bigger than a lot of people think. Pugs can be quite chunky.
Do you think they're assholes because the way that their owners are? In the way that pit bulls are socialized to be violent?
No, I don't think so. I think that pugs, I mean, I don't really mean that asshole. They're stubborn and like willful as dogs. They're not like easily managed. I like them, but I also like dogs with a lot of character. So, yeah.
You got me thinking here. I just want to make a quick list of the hierarchy of who humanity cares about.
Okay.
I think we universally say kids, right?
Well, babies more than kids.
Okay, so babies is number one.
I think babies is number one.
2 is kids. I think women third. Or is it old people?
Actually, well, and somewhere in there, Ryan Gosling.
We're going not. We can't single out individuals.
Not single people. Okay, yeah.
No, so I think it's
Jesus.
Babies.
So Jesus is first.
Come on, let's do this. This is a true thought exercise.
You don't care about Jesus?
Babies universal because they're defenseless.
Yeah.
Then I would go children. Then I say women. Then I say old people.
No, dogs
No?
over old people.
Oh, fuck yes. You're right. Dogs.
Yeah, no. Like, honestly, people don't have a lot of sympathy for the old because they're so close to being done already.
No, I think you get leeway. A lot of old people should get smacked in the mouth because they can say whatever they want. They do whatever they want.
No, but I thought we were talking about cinematically who we care about living and dying.
I'm talking about in real world, who do we care about?
I don't think we care about the old that much. Like, dude,
Okay,
COVID, we were just like, all right, well, they're going to die now. If Thanos snapped he's like, here, that's the way you do it. Thanos is going to snap his fingers and one of these things is going to be wiped out, right? Babies, no one's okay with that. Kids, no one's okay with that. Women, I'm certainly not okay with that. Old people, not a lot of people going to be complaining.
That's true. And I think in general, people care more about dogs than cats.
Yeah. In fact, legally in a lot of states, including Arizona, a dog is a pet. A cat has the same rights and considerations as a wild animal. So do with that what you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But cats are the best, people. I'm just telling you right now, dogs, I feel like they will pretend to like people and wag their tail just because there's a chance they'll get treats from anyone. Cats don't fucking care. If cats don't like you, they will not pretend.
I mean, my dogs all bite the king bee, so.
No, but the proof is you could have someone break into your house, and if they brought your dogs treats, your dogs will be whores. They will sell you out in a second for treats.
Yeah, but the cat's just going to go run and hide.
No, cat's going to sit there and look at you like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of here.
Oh,
they're not going to
thanks,
care.
cat. Big help. The dog has to be bribed because it has a job. The cat doesn't have a job.
It's not about Eugene. It's about their individuality and their strength and conviction and who they are.
Damn.
Write in and tell us.
Communist
Cats are your weak friend who don't have a backbone and will just do whatever it takes to be popular in the room. Cats are mean girls. They don't care.
Okay.
They'll go home and journal about all the people they hate, and they'll go to bed completely happy.
No, don't get me wrong. I like a cat. I'm just saying that I don't think that they're any more valuable as far as guardians of a home than a dog is.
No, you can't give a cat a job. That's part of the problem. Yeah. They're like a teenager. They're going to fight you every tooth and nail to get a job.
You know what? I would argue that Spencer, one of my dogs, Spencer, you could throw treats at him. He is still going to attack you.
Can you imagine trying to train a cat to be a bomb sniffer in an airport? There's no way a cat's doing that. You can't get a cat to volunteer for any work.
Right.
You can't break that.
I've seen them do shows at the Renaissance Festival.
Can you imagine if police had instead of a canine unit, they had a cat unit? And you pull up where a suspect's on the run, you open the doors and 6 cats run out. How great would that be? That would be fucking awesome.
You could do it with a larger cat, right? If you got a leopard,
if you get them to tiger. Get them to work in a pack, Gene. They're vicious. Look at this wound I have. Can you see this?
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad.
That was Wednesday, trying to get her so we could do her nails. She's ferocious.
You save their life, and that's how they repay you.
Because they're cats, Gene. You can't break them.
You let me interrogate her like they did Frank the Pug.
Try to interrogate a cat, Gene.
Yeah.
K and J would have left scarred.
At the site, the bug tries to escape with Laurel. She briefly breaks free and the agents shoot down the ship. The bug sheds its human skin and reveals its true form, swallowing the agent's weapons. K allows himself to be eaten so he can retrieve his weapon from inside, while J distracts the bug until K can shoot the bug apart from within. Laurel uses J's gun to finish the bug off. After returning the galaxy to the Archelians, K reveals that he was training J to take his place. J neuralizes him so he can retire, and later, J continues his work with Laurel, who has joined the Men in Black as Agent L. So Big D, the last time I watched Men in Black was before the 2007 birth of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So the words that come up at the beginning of this movie based on Marvel Comics didn't mean much to me when it came to movies in 1997. During our Blade episode, you and I talked about how Wesley Snipes may have paved the way for the MCU way back in 1998. But here we have a 1997 movie. So another 90s movie based on Marvel Comics that feels to me even more like Iron Man, or particularly like Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The set pieces, they look like set pieces. When we're in the forest or we have the dragonfly flying through the night, when people get caught in trees, everything looks like it is a set. It looks cartoonish. It looks like a comic book. And there are huge stakes. Like the galaxy is at risk, as we see with a lot of these Marvel movies, but the comedy is still there, and it's stylish and it's clever. And perhaps more importantly, they did this other thing where it's a lesser known Marvel title, which gives it a longer leash. Again, like Guardians of the Galaxy, right? You didn't take a Spider-Man where everyone knows the canon and everybody has their preconceived notions. You took something, Men in Black, which was just briefly featured in an acquisition from another comics company, and you made it into a major motion picture. I really feel that this has the same DNA as a lot of the stuff we saw in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's goofy fun. It doesn't take itself too serious. And I think we haven't talked enough about the special effects, how great they are, the practical effects. That other than, I think, that first alien they get, there's a little CGI when he like explodes, but like that squid baby, when they give birth in the taxi cab, when you get that Jay is getting thrown around, that wouldn't be in any of the Marvel movies. They wouldn't have even things like Guardians of the Galaxy. They try to be a little funnier, a little bit looser, but and think about the special effects of the aliens. Instead of going CGI, which they could have, this is right around the time of ID4, where you get aliens blowing up the White House. Instead, they chose to go with those little practical set of 5 aliens in the coffee room. Those little fuckers were real, and they were puppeteers. I don't know what to say. It's like a throwback. It feels like a different film because they're okay being goofy. They're okay being fun. It's not trying to be something it's not. And I think it works for the kids. The kids, Emma, she laughed her ass off at some of the goofy, fun hijinks. It's like something else. We need more fun movies that don't take themselves as serious like this.
All right, now's the time of the podcast we give our Shat score for Men in Black. Our Shat scores are we telling you how many wipes this movie takes to get off your respective butts. 0 wipes is a perfect movie. It's an intergalactic kegger. And 5 wipes is an absolute disaster of a film. It's getting shot where it won't grow back. Big D, we'll start with you. What is your wipe score for Men in Black?
I think it's clear. I got to agree with Alex. I think it's a 0.5 wipe movie. It's simply a great time. You couldn't leave the theater after watching this and have anything other than the feeling of, man, that was fun. The concept is easy. The style is great. It's memorable. The performance feel effortless. You got the cranky old veteran, the young, street smart, savvy kid joining the force, the practical effects. I mean, we're talking 30 years later. It still looks good. And I think this reminded me of that era of the blockbuster of the 80s and the 90s. I wish we had more of that. That would make me want to get up, take Emma, and go to the movie theater. And this is close to being a perfect movie. It's 0.5 for me.
I'm right there with you, Big D, you and Alex. It's a unanimous half a wipe. Other than the final passing of the torch, which they quickly corrected in Men in Black 2. Just for people who don't know, if you're really sad about Agent K being off the job, he comes right back. They give him his memories back. Spoiler alert. It was just really a misstep at the end of this movie. It was kind of pointless. I don't know. But this movie's pretty flawless other than that ending. It's funny. The CGI, as you said, Big D, it's tasteful. The leads did incredible work. And I know I mentioned it earlier, but again, Tony Shalhoub, also really fun in this movie. Every time he gets his head blown off, it comes back and it's slightly different. I think that's very, very funny stuff. Again, it's something that a kid would find funny. It's something that an adult would find funny. Universally enjoyable, near perfect movie. I go half a wipe as well.
So, Gene, with half a wipe, pretty impressive. That now ties us in the 23 spot. Aliens, Edward Scissorhands, Princess Bride, The Shining, Forrest Gump, Internal Affairs, Speed, Elf, and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
It's not bad.
I do have one question here, Gene, that you just talked about. It's kind of a morality question I have for you.
Yeah.
If I gave you a working neuralizer, would you have any second thoughts about using it? And how would you
people?
Use it? Yes.
Yeah, I would be any second thoughts. I'd have all the second thoughts. I wouldn't use that on people.
You definitely
to wipe people's memories.
But again, you can do it any amount of time.
Yeah, but you can't choose a snippet. You have to choose. It's from now as far back as you want.
Right, but you could wipe a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I think you would definitely use it.
Who would I use that on?
You could do it as a prank. Okay, how about this? Okay, so you're sitting in the car with Sarah. And you're just being a bit of a dick. You have a bad day. You're a bit of an asshole. You're completely responsible for a fight. Sets her off. Ruins a weekend.
Yeah.
It's your fault. Sorry doesn't cut it. But if you could flash the last 5 minutes and make it so you weren't a dick, you wouldn't just flash her back. Poof! 5 minutes.
Erase my wife's memory.
Yes, but it's basically you're trying to fix your error. I'm not saying that you're going to use it to abuse her, like trick her. It's kind of like a replay button. You get a mulligan. I think you would.
No.
Gene, you get pulled over by Arizona's finest.
Oh, I'll use it on cops all day. Okay, yeah, you're right.
So you wipe it, right?
Yeah, I'd wipe their memories from day one.
Or you tell your mother something horrible.
Complete amnesia.
You tell your mother something horrible, and she's going to make you pay for it for the next 6 months. You don't wipe your mother.
No, I'd wipe the last 2 years of my mom's memory and then just never tell her I have a child.
That would be good. Yes, but people, write in.
Sorry, Mom, busy video games.
You wouldn't use it at work?
At work?
You'd use it at work.
I don't give that much of a shit about the people I work with to wipe their memories.
Right.
The people I work with already forget shit. I don't need to help them.
Okay. But people, please write in and tell us how you would use this in the real world. I'm sure someone's going to come up with a great way to monetize this without really causing brain damage or doing something that's completely morally corrupt. Like, I don't want you to say you're going to go out and have sex with somebody and then wipe it that it didn't happen. Come up with things that you would do that aren't horrendous. Yes, no raping with the neuralizer. No raping.
Yeah, no, there's no ethical way to use this thing.
Okay, how about this? Okay. King B, he's in a horrible crash, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it makes him afraid years later, makes him afraid to ever leave his apartment. He is he's become an introvert. He can't go outside. That you could remove the trauma. Okay. You would wipe the trauma that would allow him again to get over his fear.
But I'd also have to remove the last year of his memory.
Really? How much is in there?
It's not a lot.
No.
Just lots of conversation. But then what would happen is he'd go back to his ChatGPT chat logs and he'd remember it all back again.
His bootleg like Claude client that he has?
No, he's back to normal ChatGPT.
Oh, thank you.
It told him to buy a $400,000 building and start a jewelry studio in it. So
smart.
Sounds like you're a real entrepreneur. Way to go.
You're driving cross country? I knew you could do it, buddy.
All right. Yeah. Well, before Big D reveals that he's any more ethically bankrupt, why don't you tell us about the next movie?
What if you neuralize yourself? Would you be okay with that?
Why would I do that?
I'm sure there's a situation where we've either wanted to remove something.
The very existence of a neuralizer actually would put you into severe paranoia. Imagine if you had one, you would constantly be wondering like, oh, fuck. Did I neuralize myself at some point?
I think I'd live with it. I'd be okay.
I think we got a movie on our hands here. We should write this script.
I'm sure
you can't call it a neuralizer, though. Call it flashy thing.
A white, yeah. We'll come up with something.
Yeah. Anyway, Big D, what do we have coming up next week?
So, Gene, next week is one of those iconic films. Again, we said it this week. Next week, it's an even bigger film, Gene. A small-time Philadelphia boxer spends his days collecting debts and taking punishment in a smoky neighborhood gym. Life has been mostly disappointing until a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity drops in his lap. A chance to step into the ring with the heavyweight champion of the world. Suddenly, the underdog nobody believed in has a shot to prove he belongs on the biggest stage imaginable. Along the way, he finds confidence, discipline, and an unexpected romance that gives him something real to fight for. Next week, we're watching a movie with grit, heart, and long odds on Going the Distance, commissioned by Steven, the winner of the Shat Fantasy Football League. And fuck, Gene, this is a big film, award winner, star building. This is everything this podcast was meant for.
Every few years, I host a marathon of this entire franchise. And every time I do it completely with meals. So I do a breakfast that matches the movie. I do a lunch that matches the movie. And then I do a dinner that matches the movie. We watch the entire series every single time without fail. One of the people who attends has not seen this movie, and they're always blown away by how far off their notions of what this movie is all about were. I'm so excited to do this one. And if you have not seen the movie we're doing next week, I implore you to watch nothing else in 2026 before you've seen it. It's that goddamn good. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Good job, Stephen.
Very good.
On fantasy football and also picking this movie. All right.
Seriously.
Thanks, Stephen.
How many people waste their pick? He's chosen wisely.
Thanks, commissioners. All right. Thank you, Stephen, for your upcoming commission. Thank you, Alex, for your commission. Thank you to all the commissioners who make this podcast possible. That concludes this week's episode of Shat the Movies. Be sure to follow us on social media and share with a friend. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram at Shat the Movies. Email us, hosts@shatpod.com. Support the podcast by buying your own merch or commissioning your own movie. Find all information by visiting our website, shatpod.com. Also, check out our sister podcast, Shat on TV. Review TV series such as Lovecraft Country, Westworld, True Detective, Taboo, American Gods, Game of Thrones, and Watchmen. Find all information on our website, shatpod.com/TV, wherever fine podcasts be found, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, and if you stop at Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star review. It helps the podcast grow. On behalf of my co-host, Big D, Dick Ebert, I'm Gene Lyons. Join us next time on the following movie.
Sticking it to me. I want to know how come. You want to know? I want to know how. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Because you had the talent to become a good fighter. And instead of that, you became a leg breaker. Some cheap, second-rate loan shark. It's a living? It's a waste of life.
I figure if I break the guy's thumb, he gets laid off, right? He can't make
Yeah, well, don't figure. Let me do the figuring, okay, Rock? From here on, just let me do the figuring.
Come on! You want to hit on me? Come on! I'll break both your arms so they don't work for you.
$50. You and your girl Adrian, you have a nice time, yeah? Thanks.
Hey, Rock.
What?
Remember what I told you?
What'd you tell me?
Take it to the zoo.
Come on! Come on!
You believe that America is the land of opportunity?
Yeah.
Paulo Creed does. And he's going to prove it to the whole world by giving an unknown a shot at the title.
I need your help about 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago. You never helped me. You didn't care.
Well, if you wanted help. I say, if you wanted help, why didn't you ask? Why didn't you just ask me, kid?
Look, I asked, but you never heard nothing. Nobody's ever gone the distance from Creed. And if I can go that distance, seeing that bell rings and I'm still standing, that I weren't just another bum from the neighborhood. I'm at home, my kid, and I ain't even in the guy's league. Wish me luck, I'm gonna need it.
Good luck.
Don't leave town.